6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The History with Jackson podcast. Hello and welcome to the History with Jackson podcast, and welcome to the Katharine of Aragon Festival special series in partnership with Peterborough Cathedral and Peterborough Museum. Now, this special series is looking and covering the Katharine of Aragon Festival. We will be speaking to some of the historians who are giving Tudor-focused talks and tours around Peterborough and Peterborough Cathedral. We will also be speaking to some of the amazing living historians who are reenacting parts of Catharine's life. This festival commemorates Catharine's amazing life from the 25th to the 29th of January 2024. And if you hear any part of this festival coverage, do try and get down to Peterborough Cathedral to experience some of the events that we are covering. All the information for the events will be in the description below. And without further ado, let's get into this episode of the Katharine of Aragon Festival Special Series. Hello and welcome back to the History of Jackson podcast. Today we are rounding up round day 2 of the Katharine of Aragon Festival, which happened on Friday. So, Abby, let's talk about day 2 of the Katharine of Aragon Festival. It was a long day.
It was a long day, but it was a day full of incredible firsts. First time that Sonnet Lumiere was being presented at the cathedral, a day of magnificent tours around the cathedral and Peterborough and surrounding area, but also just a day of absolute discovery. We learned so much, and yeah.
I think that's a great point there about Sonnet Lumiere. It's the first time that's been ever held, and I think we would be doing an injustice to Tim, Vice Dean of the cathedral, who we had on yesterday, without discussing Sonnet Lumiere.
Yeah, of course.
First. I'm going to go first on this one.
Of course.
That was one of the best historical experiences that I've ever gone on, to go into that cathedral with the warm light of the candles illuminating it. You really got to see how this cathedral was a former abbey. You saw the shapes that are very abbey-like, monastery-like, and experiencing the stories of the cathedral in that way was amazing.
It was incredible, especially because Tim has got such a beautiful oration style to his, the way he spoke was stunning. He made what could have been quite dense history accessible and engaging and really light, and he made some quippy remarks that brought 500 years of history right up to the 2023-2024 current political and kind of social climate, and it made it engaging and accessible for every single person in that room. And there were some really young people in that room, but there was also some old people in that room. It was a really wide, varying audience, and I think it hit for every single person.
And the sound effects that accompanied some of the events, something that we've touched on a lot on this podcast, is Oliver Cromwell's attack on this cathedral within the English Civil War. Peterborough was a royalist stronghold, and Tim brought to life the parliamentarians' attack and destruction of the religious relics and icons within this cathedral, and the sound effects of muskets going off, swords clanging during those moments it really made it.
Yeah, and especially because it was such an intimate evening and we were bathed in candlelight. I think we worked out there was nearly 500 candles lit across the cathedral. You got to see the cathedral in a completely different light, and being able to point out, this is where muskets were fired into the ceiling, and you could just see tiny bullet holes, still the fragments of a long history gone past to this present day. It was really incredible.
It was, I really have to just jump on that. It was the best.
Yeah, it
was the best thing that we've done.
We are both historians who have been to quite a few historical lectures, talks, just historical events, and I would have to say that is
right up there.
Right up there, 100%. Would completely recommend, and we do hope that the cathedral continue it in the near future.
So let's move on to the rest of the day then.
Yeah.
This festival is not just held at the gorgeous Peterborough Cathedral
that we are stood outside of right now.
As you can tell, we both have a
major
crush
cathedral.
on this cathedral.
It is stunning.
But Peterborough Museum also hosted some events.
They did. So we started the day with a Peterborough walk that was started at the museum and ended at the cathedral. And our tour guide Dorothy, she took us around all of like the prominent sites down Priestgate into Market Square, and discussing the legacy that the Tudor architecture has in the city, but also what each part of the city would have been used for, how it would have been utilized for different events, different purposes than what is used for now.
And detailing as well, Peterborough is eternally, and I've said in the roundup, which is going out very soon, is an eternally evolving city. And the destruction of Peterborough's Tudor heritage and history has led to it's been quite a difficult tour to curate and bring together sites. But Dorothy really had done that using Speed's map of 1610.
Yeah, and it was really interesting being able to compare that map to the current lay of the land of Peterborough today. It's so vastly different.
And then, this is not just a historical festival, this is also a religious festival.
Yeah.
And we've had several different services. We've had Roman Catholic Mass, which was symbolic, really, because Catherine was a Tudor Catholic queen.
Yes.
There was also Vespers, which was a beautiful service to listen to them sing in Latin. There was Compline last night, but also the apogee of this festival, the height of the pomp and splendour of this festival was the commemorative service for Catherine.
It was a incredible service. We had school children from around Peterborough. We had young poet laureates composing and performing their own poems in honour of Catherine and in honour of this day. But also what I thought was incredible was that we had Spanish dignitaries and members of embassies from Spain in England at the cathedral, just remembering someone so prominent and linking our two countries together.
I think it really highlights the importance of Catherine, really.
Yeah.
When we spoke to Senor Robles about Catherine and her importance to Spain, it's a perspective that we don't really look at here in the UK and England, and how Spanish people feel about Henry's treatment of Catherine as well really sheds a new light, a new perspective.
Yeah, and yesterday, before we attended the Vespers, we actually had the honour of speaking to two members of the public who were actually from Spain, had travelled all the way to Spain for the Katharine of Aragon festival, which is something that you don't really think of. You think, oh, okay, so obviously English monarchs and princesses have married into foreign countries' families, but we don't think, oh, let's go and travel to their country to go see their burial site and partake in their memorial. But Catherine was obviously such a prominent figure in Spanish and English history that people do want to make the journey, and it's almost a modern pilgrimage.
Yeah. But
I can't speak English.
It does highlight how Catherine transcends Peterborough, transcends England, and moves into Europe. Some of the comments that we've had and some of the content that we put out this week is from across the world.
Yeah.
So, I think it was a fantastic jam-packed day yesterday.
Yeah,
But
can't wait for today.
Looking forward to today then.
Yeah.
We've got another packed
Yes.
day. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we are going to be joined by Regal Rose at the historically Tudor
events at the Cathedral.
Yeah, Tudor events at the... Sorry, I lost my train of thought just then.
They've dressed up as some members of the Tudor court, which
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah,
experiencing.
same. And there's going to be a lot of arts and crafts today, which is geared primarily for the younger audiences, but I think it's a really nice way to engage with the Tudor era.
And then we're moving across to the
museum.
The museum as well. We've got a talk this evening, Dr. Adeko Nubia, with his lecture, which is something I'm really looking forward to attending.
Same.
I love lectures.
Especially in-person lectures.
Yeah, in-person lectures, online lectures, I love them. Send them my way, I will probably go. But I think we've got such a day of history which is so varied, which I think is really going to add to the festival.
Same, and I can't wait to do it. And we can't wait to bring you along with us. So have a great day, guys.
Well, keep an eye out for all the content on the History of Jackson social media channels. We've got reels going up on Instagram. Thank you very much for everyone for commenting and engaging with those. We will look to try and answer them today. And then thank you for following on Instagram as well. The response that we've had from the content that we've been creating has been amazing.
The response to the content, not just Instagram but TikTok and Facebook, has been really, really good for us because it shows that what we're doing and what's happening here at the cathedral is really meaningful and people are really engaged with it. And also, congratulations to Jackson. History with Jackson was trending in the UK history podcast last night, which is an incredible feat. Congratulations.
Yeah,
How do you feel about that?
Overwhelmed. It was the first time we've ever made the top 200 for the UK podcast charts.
Yeah.
So, amazing. You know, we were also charting in Trinidad, Tobago. We've charted in Nepal and Malta, but to make the charts in your home country.
Yeah,
is
and speaking
else.
about very English history, it's very topical right now. So I'm so proud of you. Good luck. It's all thanks to you guys. You obviously love his face and love listening to his voice. So
who doesn't?
And the ego on him is high. But yeah, no, continue listening because we want to keep him trending all the time.
Yeah, but thank you very much. I appreciate everyone. So keep an eye out for all the episodes that are coming out today. We have got a boatload of content that's going to be released today. So keep your eye out and keep your ears peeled.